Hey everybody, today I'm going to tell you about Greg Maddux. Maddux did not have the typical velocity of most pitchers, but he still did just as much damage in the league than anybody else ever has. First, I'm going to tell you about his early life as a baseball player. Maddux was born in San Anilo, Texas on April 14th of 1966. He was raised mainly in Madrid, Spain because his dad was stationed there for the Air Force. He began with baseball at a very early age, and when he returned back to the United States in Las Vegas, Nevada, he started training with Ralph Metter, who was a major league scout. The main thing that Metter got through to Maddux, which was what he needed, more movement and location more than velocity. Maddux took this philosophy on through his major league career, and this is what made him so special and effective. He played for the American League Post-8 baseball team from Las Vegas, Nevada, and was named the organization's Graduate of the Year in 1984. He also graduated from Valley High School in 1984 after his trainer, Ralph Metter's death. Being as great of a player as he was, he did not have the body type of many of the other players that were going in the draft with him, so not many people wanted to take a gamble on him. But a guy named Doug Chanson took the gamble and even wrote a huge review on him, saying, and I quote, I really believe this boy would be the #1 player in the country if only he looked a bit more physical. Greg Maddux was drafted out of high school in 1984 by the Cubs in the second round. His first appearance in the major leagues was when he had a pinch run for the catcher Jody Davis in the 17th inning against the Houston Astros, and after that he went on to pitch in the 18th inning and gave up a home run, which gave him the loss for the game. 5 days later, Maddux started a game against the Philadelphia Phillies where he got the complete game win against his older brother, who was also pitching. This became the first and only time rookie brothers had pitched against each other in a Major League Baseball. After the game, his brother Mike Maddux said if Greg couldn't win, he didn't want to play, plain and simple. Next year was his first full season in the majors, and he actually struggled in this year and came out with a 6-win and 14-loss record with a 5.61 earned run average. He came out in his 1988 season ready to go though, as he went 18-8 with a 3.18 earned run average. This started a long streak of 17 years straight with a 15-plus win year as a pitcher, and still to this day that streak is unbroken and will likely remain unbroken for a long time. In his 1989 season, he was anchored as the Cubs ace with 19 wins and led them to the National League Champion Series, where they took a 4-1 loss. In his 1990 and 1991 seasons, he continued with the 15-win seasons and won 20 games in the 1992 season, where he also won the prestigious Cy Young Award. This marked where he went into free agency and went to the Atlanta Braves for a 5-year, $28 million deal. Maddux's time with the Braves is one of the most iconic player-team memory of baseball. In his first debut with the Braves, he had to pitch against his former teammates, the Chicago Cubs, where he got his first win of the season. He went on to obtain 20 wins and 10 losses, and also won the Cy Young Award again for the second year in a row. This led the Atlanta Braves to the National League Championship Series against the Philadelphia Phillies. He won Game 2 where he pitched in, but eventually lost the series in Game 6. Though they did not make it to the World Series, his season began the famous trio of the Big Three, where the Atlanta Braves pitching rotation was Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and John Smoltz. In his historic 1994 season, he posted a 1.56 earned run average, which is still the second lowest ERA for a pitcher in a season in all of the major leagues, behind Dwight Goodson's 1.53 season in 1986. In this season, he led the National League in wins with 16 wins, and he pitched 202 innings and won the Cy Young Award for the 3rd year in a row. He came out with an incredible 19 wins and 2-loss season in 1995. This season was special because he had led the Atlanta Braves to win the World Series, and it came out as the best team in baseball. In this year, he received the Cy Young Award again for the 4th consecutive year, which is still a major league record. In all 3 of Maddux's appearances in the postseason of '95, he pitched effectively and came out with a win in all 3. In the next 3 years, he came close to winning the Cy Young Award again with a place in 5th a place in second, and a place in fourth in those consecutive years. From 1993 to 1998, he led the National League in earned run average 4 times, and in the other 2 seasons, he came close with second place finishes in both of them. He became the highest paid baseball player of all time in August of 1997, where he signed a 5-year, $57.5 million deal contract with the Atlanta Braves. On July 22nd of 1997, Greg Maddux threw probably the most historical game of a pitcher in Major Leagues. He threw a complete game with only 78 pitches, with 63 of those being strikes and only 15 pitches of those being balls. To understand that, the average pitcher in a baseball game throws around 50% strikes and 50% balls, and a game usually has each team throwing around 150 pitches per game. He nearly halved that in a single game of 9 innings to win the game. Greg Maddux, in my opinion, was the best pitcher of all time in baseball. He did not have the typical velocity of most pitchers, but he still did just as much damage in the league than anybody else ever has. From the beginning, Maddux was not considered to be able to be a great baseball player until Metter gave him a chance and proved that he was one of the best players of all time, with the 4 consecutive years winning the Cy Young Award and 17 years of 15-plus wins consecutively. He even still holds the second best ERA in Major League Baseball. Thank you.